Oh my
Welcome,
gosh.
everybody.
We're doing it live.
We're doing it live. This is the XoneBros. We are your positive gaming and Xbox One community. Thank you very much for joining us. This is podcast number 256. As always, I'm joined by the bros, the XoneBros. First, it's Mr. McSpicy.
Howdy.
It's Jordan, the man who's putting some liquid on his hands.
Do you know how many times? Okay, so I gotta say what happened during that intro.
So I'm under the weather. I've had the flu.
Under the weather is.
I've had the flu all week, and this is the worst that I've ever had. It's like the plague at my house. My whole family has it.
Ugh.
It's terrible. All
So-
my kids.
I gotta put it on like aftershave.
Yeah.
So David's on that side on the other side of the room,
The far side
of the room, right next to the window that is blowing nice cold air into here into this hot office.
Hey, what does that word
And
say?
he's coughing into the window, which is therefore spraying it all over
Me.
Jordan and me too.
This is a really nice flavor.
And then right
lemon. What does that word say? I can't read that.
It says lemon.
No, the one under it.
Oh my gosh!
I know. Yeah, it's kind of a tough word.
Lemon meringue.
Oh, is that how you spell meringue?
Lemon meringue.
Oh, meringue.
Is that how you spell meringue?
I've never seen it spelled.
Anyways,
Yeah, that's
Jordan's
a
putting
weird-
on some lemon meringue sanitizer.
That's
to
a
try
weird,
to try to block.
meringue.
Even though I have been
That's a
covering my
weird,
mouth, I have my own microphone, and I cough into my shirt.
The shirt's. It's one of those shirts that are thin. It goes like right through it.
This is our official X1Bros
Yeah,
shirt.
but you have a powerful cough.
If it
That's what
can't-
he's
I
saying.
do
Look,
have a
man,
power-
look.
Doesn't it sound terrible?
If
Let me
it
tell you how
can't
it feels.
stop
It
a
feels
bullet,
terrible.
it can't stop germs.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, I love how right before the intro music's almost finished, you both stood up and started walking away.
I
And I'm
gotta
like,
get a hit of my inhaler.
oh my gosh, what am I gonna do
We
here?
should invest in those medical masks
Yeah, okay.
and
Do I
latex
have some?
gloves.
Oh, why don't we just put shirts over our faces
Okay,
like
we
you
can
do?
do that too.
Yeah. Well, medical masks can't stop a bullet either, according to Jordan's logic.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
No, yeah, look, man, a germ. Yeah, that's my logic. If it can stop a bullet, it can stop germs.
Okay, fair enough.
That's
Fair
disgusting.
enough. I appreciate it.
I feel actually kind of scared. We gotta. Oof, what do I do? Because all that air is blowing on my face. I'm nervous, but on the surface, I'm calm and ready. Let's do this.
Did you know germs took out the alien race that attacked Earth?
What movie is this?
Tom Cruise couldn't even save the day.
Oh, this is War of Worlds?
War of the Worlds, yeah.
Huh.
I
They
watched.
came in, they were about to take over the world, and what stopped them? The common cold.
The common cold stopped them, really?
Yeah, it was
basically.
pretty dumb. That's like one of the worst cop out endings I've ever seen.
No,
in a show.
no. The worst cop-out ending is freaking
Are
M.
we-
Night Shyamalan.
Shamalama.
In the... What's the... I don't even know. It's with Mark Wahlberg.
Anything after like 2006.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's,
yeah,
it's
when
with
the
Mark
trees-
Wahlberg and the trees killed. People were just
Well,
like
it's-
committing suicide, which was a really cool premise. Like
Oh,
they
it's
showed like
funny.
people walking down the street and they're like killing themselves, and then it ended up being the trees infecting everybody to clear the world of humankind.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah, it was pretty bad. You know, it would have been a lot better if they made them like the
overpopulation.
If they would have made
It was
the
so stupid.
Well, if they would have made the trees more like the Ints from Lord of the Rings,
I could
that
get
would
behind
yeah,
that.
that would have been a little bit better of an ending. You know
That
what I
would've
mean?
been awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like,
I don't mind dying to that.
yeah,
That's a great
like
death.
all of a sudden they just come charging out of the forest, and you're like, shoot,
Yeah, because like you're shooting them, bullets don't affect those guys.
well, you got to get fire arrows.
Yeah, fire.
Speaking
Like
of
the
cop
orcs
outs
do,
and
yeah.
movies,
But they'll just stick their head in the water from the dam that they break, just like in Lord of the Rings.
that's true.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
those ants are
What if-
smart.
Who would win, 100 Ints or 1,000 people with chainsaws?
100 ints.
Yeah, it depends on like with the make and model of the chainsaw.
No, 100 ints.
I mean, because you can get. I've seen.
you- it's
you watch
like-
those shows on History Channel.
it's
with-
like a pinprick to them before they just smash you.
Well, what if you
but there's 1,000.
What if you chainsaw him in the
And
eye?
if we're like set up like the 300, you know,
Oh, that's true. Like
if
a
we all wear
a
speedos,
a phalanx,
a
Well-
phalanx with chainsaws,
phalanx with chainsaws.
and we're in
you'd have
speedos.
you'd have to have a gas man though. I think that would be the downfall.
In the middle of the phalanx is the gas guy.
You'd have to go with his little funnel and
Yeah,
refuel. He'd be like the medic, basically.
Yeah, he's the medic. I need more
gas man.
gas.
That'd be a good
But
movie.
see, if we had a Leonidas, we'd win. Easy.
Dude, Leonidas.
Imagine
can I
him with a
just say,
chainsaw.
That movie, 300. It did Zack,
you probably would have won.
was 300 Zack Snyder?
Yeah, pretty sure
yeah.
it was.
Dude.
Yeah. No, it's got him written
So
all over it.
he
Weird
does
dude.
the best
People with no arms,
battle
half naked.
scenes. And what it is it's that like he does this like frame skip that like fast forwards during a fight.
It's called time mapping.
He did it in Superman, the first Superman. The second one's terrible. The first one. And that's some of the best superhero fighting, but 300 is his best movie. Like, camera work, the feel of it, the epic lines.
Oh, there you go. How about the cleaners from Division 1? 1,000 cleaners versus 100 ints.
The cleaners win.
Because they got
Fire.
flamethrower.
Yeah, fire.
But where are we fighting? Are we fighting like in the marshlands?
Let's make it fair. Let's make it
what
fair.
biome are we in?
We're
The desert.
fighting...
The desert.
Well, no, 'cause I mean-
flamethrowers
Okay,
win.
but now you're stacking the
Okay,
deck.
okay,
against-
No,
but
that's
we,
what
no,
I'm
we
saying.
can
Well,
go through each
yeah.
biome. No.
How about...
The desert, the flamethrowers win. England during rain. It's probably a little closer, but I still give it to flamethrowers.
You know, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I feel like mankind is top of the food chain for a reason. Couldn't we just, like, drop a bomb on them?
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's not the discussion.
Yeah, the discussion. Well, what is the discussion? Well, yeah, where are we? Where are we right now? Is this real life?
The discussion is the cleaners versus ents.
You know what? I'm just going to side with mankind because I'm on their side.
Because I am man.
I am man.
I am man.
Kind.
Hey, so speaking of cop-outs and movies, we watched pre-show. So if you haven't joined us over on Mixer
Live.
during the live recording of the show, we do a pre-show and a post-show. It's a party. It's a good time. We actually had a lot of outtakes this pre-show, so you get to witness those.
If you
as
buy
well.
our DVD, you can see the outtakes.
Yeah, you can see
We
the-
have a DVD. Do they even still have DVDs? Like, is that a thing?
We should come out.
I don't know.
Like
We
volume
should just
1,
come
and
out
it's
with-
episodes 1
No,
through 10.
we should come out with a VHS.
I'm so
An
down
X1
for
Bros
that.
VHS
I
we ship.
love that
Special
idea.
edition.
And we'll put Easter eggs on it all over the place.
No, we should come out with a vinyl.
No, that's too hipster.
No, I don't care. It's still cool.
I have a VCR where I can hit record. I don't have a vinyl maker machine.
Dude, we could get one.
Do they still make...
We can get one.
It's like
I'm sure it's a service. You just send your MP3 somewhere and they put it on vinyl for you.
It's too hipster.
I like the VHS idea.
Okay, VHS.
Let's put it. Yeah, the vinyl lasts a lot longer than the magnetic tape on a VHS. Let's make it limited edition.
Hey,
You know
what
I'm
about
saying?
what about those things that you used to put into your Walkmans, and then when it was done, it'd be like flip to the other side.
Yeah, cassette
And you had to
tapes?
There you go. Those.
You don't know what the word cassette tape
That's
is?
pretty
Well,
funny.
I remember using them, and I just remember flip to the other side.
I had a cassette tape. Fun fact, when I was a child, I used to make radio shows with my cassette tape recorder with my friends. It'd be hilarious if I had those still, but I don't.
My friend had a Walk Boy or whatever from Home Alone. That was way
Oh,
fun.
yeah, I had one of those
A
too.
Talk Boy? What
I
is
had
it
one
called?
of those, Talk Boy. And you could rewind it and fast forward it. It actually wasn't that cool. It was a little bit disappointment once you got it.
I'm pretty sure those were just made to say swear words really slow.
I played with it for like a day and then gave up on it.
That's pretty much most toys, I think,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that is
I
true.
think that's just how toys
Especially
are.
at that age where you're like, where the commercials make toys look so fun, and then you get it and you're like, this doesn't do what was advertised. I can't spy on people. I'm not a spy.
McAllister,
Yeah,
the
is it
father. I can't get hotel rooms.
I can get hotel rooms. I can't order pizza with this thing. What the heck? They lied to me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm sure. How many swear words do you think that thing had
Oh,
recorded?
that's
on?
all that it was.
You know, I actually think that's kind of a lost art, the false advertisement. You know
Oh
what
no,
I mean?
it still exists.
It exists on
Really?
YouTube all over the
Oh, really?
place. Yeah.
Because I feel like everybody's like spoiled nowadays. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing.
because
You
of
have-
reviews.
you have
and
reviews and
oh,
stuff,
oh,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
I
you
get
know
what
what
I get what you're saying. Like the product being crappy, but they're showing that it does amazing things.
Yeah,
or something.
yeah. And then
kind
you
of
get it, and then you have that emotion when you realize it's crappy.
Movies
Yeah.
false advertise all the time.
Yeah.
That's something they're not.
They actually
Like,
even like yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that,
Speaking of movies, we just watched pre-show, like I've been trying to say for the last 20 minutes. We watched the new Star Wars trailer.
it just came out today.
When did it come out, Jordan?
Today.
Today?
Yesterday,
There was a
today.
panel. There was a panel that happened
It's Star Wars
with the Star Wars trailer. What is the name of this new Star Wars? I didn't know the
Rise of Skywalker.
And it says this is the saga is ending. Like this
well,
is the end.
this is the Skywalker saga, which honestly makes no sense to me.
Why?
Well, okay. So in the
because
first
he
movie,
already squoze the alien boob milk thing.
no,
And then he did
we are,
his
here we are.
like virtual reality thing.
Yeah, can I say I
And
don't-
then he hit the turbo button button too much and disappeared.
Well, and he didn't really die. He just disappeared.
hear me out.
but that's how
That's how Obi-Wan died too.
yeah, they're becoming one with the Force.
Yeah.
No, so like we spend the whole first movie looking for him, and then we find him at the end, and we don't know what he's doing. So like there was no conclusion to that.
He's
right?
like old,
Then,
senile, and then that's like the Luke Skywalker you didn't want to.
then if you listen at the beginning of that movie, it's Luke
trailer.
Skywalker trailer. It's Luke Skywalker talking, and he's saying, I've passed everything on to you." And he in the second movie, again, Luke Skywalker, other than the whole alien incident doesn't really do anything. Like he doesn't really teach her anything, right?
Well, I think they just screwed up.
And then you learn that the reason the bad guy is kind of bad is a giant misunderstanding.
A giant misunderstanding?
Yeah, that's funny. Kylo Ren went in the tent or whatever, and he wakes up, and then Luke was like going after him. Remember that? And that's what started Kylo Ren.
It's
going
almost
down the
like
path.
It's a giant misunderstanding.
Well, it's almost like
at Jedi camp.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. It's like it's
Jedi
like hey,
camp.
that's what it was. Yeah. And then you hear all. I mean, the third movie's not out, so I don't know. But like, you hear all this cool. Like, the thing is they have this cool lore, but they don't. Like, you hear all about like the Knights of Ren, right? You know what I mean? And they're like, oh, who are these guys? Oh, yeah,
Well, there's so many good Star Wars books you could just go off of. Why don't they just follow those?
Well, and that's the thing. I don't know. The problem, and then I don't know. And then Luke shows up at the end of the next one, and he doesn't really do anything. Like the reason he shows up is to give them time to get out, right? Which, by the way, doesn't make any sense anyway, because they were like, "Oh, hey, he got in somehow." Technically, he didn't, because he just projected himself, so that exit was there the whole time.
Well, what's so stupid about that whole scene is you're finally like, oh yeah, now we're talking.
Yeah, it's Luke Skywalker,
I'm
baby.
back in, and then they're like, just kidding. It's
Psych.
all a sham.
Psych.
It's all a sham.
False advertising.
yeah, basically. And
then-
then they get out. Which, by the way, he stood there and took all that fire to give them time to get out, but they just watched the whole time anyway. So it didn't even matter that he was there. And then they just leave.
No, they followed the Sparkle Wolves.
And then
That's
there was
right.
I
The
forgot about the
Sparkle
Sparkle
Fox.
Wolves.
I think it was
they,
the fox.
Oh, maybe it was like, how did they get in here? I don't know. But and then there was some
Sparkle
random.
Wolves.
And then when you're about to get in it again, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, dude, Finn's gonna save the. He's gonna sacrifice himself. Then he gets crashed into, and they make out like the worst kiss I've ever seen.
Wait,
And then
who
how
does-
did they?
Came out of nowhere.
And
Wait,
then
who does he make out with?
the
Asian girl?
the Asian
The
girl,
janitor.
yeah.
The janitor.
Yeah, he called her
The Asian janitor
The
girl.
janitor.
Which
They
which
saved
kind of
the
upset me
horses.
as well, because I
Well,
really
and
wanted
are-
him and Ray to get
And
together.
are we not going back to the slave? Because remember they ended with the slave.
I didn't even want to
Kid?
talk about that part.
Yeah, are we not going back to that in that trailer? They didn't show anything of that.
Where the janitor and the stormtrooper just basically were terrorists to this tourism town.
to Vegas, Star Wars
They
Vegas.
went
Well,
to
but
Star
then-
Wars Vegas
but then-
and were terrorists, and then they freed the animals.
Well,
but
they
then
freed the
they
horses.
show the horses being caught 5 minutes later. Like the whole thing was
Yeah.
just bizarre.
Let's free the animals. Wait, we didn't, but
No,
we
that-
blew up half the
it
town.
meant something, and then they see the chopper fly in behind them and pick up all the.
Like Jurassic World, he's putting him back in the pen.
Anyway, so back to this trailer.
So are you
So, yeah.
impressed by the trailer? Are you
the
excited?
the problem I see with this trailer, and it's the problem that I've had. Well, not the problem. A problem beyond amidst many. Imagine if Rocky, that Rocky series.
Yeah.
Imagine if we just went right to Rocky 4 fighting Drago, and that was the movie.
Yeah, that's
There
what
was
happened.
no build up. There was no Rocky struggling. There was
Or
no Rocky loss.
We don't even have to go that far. Start in the first Rocky, and Rocky never trains. He can just beat Apollo Creed. He just beats it. He knocks him out first round. That's this Star Wars. That's what they do with Rey. Rey just as powerful. No training, nothing. She's just powerful.
Well, I mean that's basically my analogy that you just did, that I said.
Oh yeah, sorry, but I was saying we don't even need to go to.
But
Rocky
like
IV.
Drago was like the
Drago is
ultimate.
cool.
He was the ultimate, right?
Well, it's just
and then just skip all that struggle where he's
imagine no montage.
well,
no training montage.
no survivor montage. Oh man, none of that. His Ferrari that he's,
No Eye of the Tiger.
none
No-
of that.
No running on the
Happy
beach.
birthday, robot coming in.
No racing Apollo Creed on the beach.
No, none of that. None of that. It's
None.
just he's awesome. That's it. There's no story to him.
And that's Rey.
That's right.
Well, the thing is they have three really good characters, right? That I just can't get behind because of that right there. So you have Rey, you're like, oh, okay, she was like orphaned, she's on this planet, she's a scavenger, kind of classic Luke, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
classic Luke.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, okay, she's gonna learn the Force, and then all of a sudden she just like, oh, hey, here's a lightsaber. Oh, I saved the world twice. Whoa, you know what I mean? And then
Meanwhile, Kylo Ren has been murdering people for years.
one of the best scenes,
And she beats him, like, handedly.
yeah.
yeah.
Without it, I mean,
That would never-
Kylo
Luke-
Ren should have been Drago.
Luke could not beat Darth Vader in episode one.
He cut off his own son's hand, which, by the way,
Yeah.
I think we need more parents like Darth Vader out there. We'd probably have a lot less crime out on the streets.
Yeah. That was just tough love.
Yeah.
Darth Vader was just tough love. He was putting Luke in his place. He was teaching him to be a good
It was
citizen.
definitely a parenting moment if I've ever seen one.
No, I kind of respect that family dynamic. You know, alpha male. Like, hey, I'm in charge. When you're in charge, you can burn me. And he does.
Well, and I loved how he's like, all too easy. And he flips the switch to put him into carbonite. Remember that? I love that, you know, like a dad would be, you know?
So are you excited for this Star Wars, or are you done with Star Wars?
No, I'm going to go see it because I want to see how they wrap it up. And, hey, maybe, I mean, I have hope that it'll be really good. Like I said, I think Rey is a cool character. I think Kylo Ren is a really cool character, and I think Finn is a cool character. But the problem is like they're cool in theory, but then they tell their story, and you're like, what are you doing? Where are you going?
They did not develop them.
No, not at all. And that's
No
the problem.
developing
I
of them.
think they're cool because of The Force Awakens.
the
Because I like The Force Awakens.
The development they did on the characters was like the opposite direction they should have taken.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to know that stormtroopers have families and friends. Do you know how many we've killed over the last, 30 years?
Just on the Death Star alone.
How many of those people have we killed? And apparently, they have feelings, they have friends.
Honestly, I don't know why they got rid of the clones.
Yeah.
Just bring them back.
Just hashtag bring back the clones.
Yeah.
The clones. Clones are people too.
No, they're not people. That's what makes it okay to kill
Actually,
a buttload of them.
In a good Star Wars show that was actually very well done, the Clone Wars.
yeah, it's very good.
You do learn Yoda because they say that they're like getting down on themselves. And Yoda's like, no, your force is different from his force.
Oh,
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
So none of us are excited.
I won't see it opening night. I'll see it probably on
Yeah.
Tuesday when it's $5.
Yeah, I'll probably go see it Tuesday.
And those nice comfy recliners.
even in the advertising, they make it look cool. Like, it does look cool, but just knowing what I know, it's like, meh.
Well, that's the thing. Like, Rey does this really cool super flip to destroy.
No, I think she was trying to catch the bus.
Yeah, to destroy
She's
a car.
She's running as fast as she can to try to catch
I
the
think
ride.
she's training for an
The
ultra
problem
marathon.
is, and maybe it's just me, the problem is the three major hitters, which in theory are cool characters, Rey, Finn, and Kylo Ren. I have no connection to them because I didn't grow with them. Like, at least with Luke, Han, and Leia, I feel like I'm growing and progressing with them each movie. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
And then at the end, when we finally win, we're like, all right.
We did
like,
it.
when even after the first movie, they had that progression. And in movie number 2, when we lost, like when Han Solo got carbonite, right?
Yeah.
I was sad.
Yeah,
I was sad.
true. It's true.
It's
You're like, oh.
even when we won in the Return of the Jedi, you realize Vader had just struggled, and he finally turned for the good, but then he dies. And even then you're like, we won, but at a cost.
And that's good character development,
Yeah,
by the
it's
way.
the
'Cause
struggle.
they progress, and you learn more about them. Not in these
Well,
ones.
and then you have a really interesting bad guy who just gets cut in half.
Because apparently.
That's the equivalent of when they all got in the very first episode when they all got dropped in the garbage can. If it just smushed them and they died,
Yeah.
you're like, oh,
Yeah. Or
At the end.
Tyrion shooting his dad on the toilet. That's exactly the same thing.
yeah, you're just oh.
No, but that's good. That's
Yeah,
good
if he-
story.
if he
The
would've
difference
got-
there
if
is
we-
that's good storytelling.
If he would have got cut in half on the toilet, it probably would have brought it up a little bit.
Yeah, I can appreciate it.
Then you'll eat your popcorn. Yeah.
Because he slept with his girlfriend. His dad
Yeah.
slept with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
I could then appreciate that.
But then you have another character like Kylo Ren, who, by the way, I think they're kind of ruining. But that's here. Anyway, he does this cool thing where he takes the side of his lightsaber and stabs some random dude, some innocent
In
guy.
the trailer.
And then
We're back to
in
the
the trailer, and then he just throws him on the ground, and then 5 minutes later he's gonna
lose
cry about cutting down a poor tree or
He's
something
gonna-
like that. I don't know.
He's going to lose the Ray.
Yeah,
So,
and then he's gonna get upset with. It's the temper tantrum that bothers me. It's like if he comes out and he was like, and he said, he came out and Luke was disappeared, and he was like, F Luke, and then just walks away.
Yeah.
That would have been 10 times cooler than meh.
no, I don't mind.
'Cause that's what he was.
Yeah,
No,
I don't
I
mind
don't-
the temper tantrum. What I mind is
No, I mind
that
the
he's not a good bad guy. Like, to have a good guy, you need a good bad guy. There is no. She's beat him 3 times already. I don't know. It's not like, dude, is she going to beat him in this movie? Well, she's already beat him 3 times prior to this.
There's a struggle.
There's no struggle. He's not.
They're at their status for a reason.
They've not made him a good bad guy. That's why. Which he could be a good bad guy because when he walks out and he stops the laser, the giant laser in midair, you're like, whoa! Not even Darth Vader could do that. But then Rey, she can do that.
Well,
she can beat that.
Yeah.
Right at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Twice.
a lot of problems with
no sword
with
training.
this quote unquote saga.
Yeah.
Well, and then there's the whole issue of, like, I get that none of this is real and it's all sci-fi, and I get that, but at least kind of try and make it make sense. You know what I mean?
At least try.
Well, because, like, first of all, there's no gravity in space, so how are we dropping bombs? They're arcing like artillery shots. They're
With
lasers.
lasers.
You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing?
Like, I don't know. They should just. I don't know.
Like, at least try and make it make sense. You know what I mean? And then I don't.
Well, let's be
I don't
real.
know. I don't know if this is just me.
the entire movie, episode 8, was just the slowest car chase scene I have ever seen in my life.
Guys, do you think they're gonna run out of gas? Are we gonna run out of gas? What are we doing?
Wait,
this
we'll
guy
just-
ran out of gas.
Wait, I know. We'll just drive through them.
Yeah, and then there's this random
And
plan.
I'm like, you can weaponize hyperspeed?
You could have done that like 20 movies ago.
Well, it makes no sense because Han Solo in the previous movie warped through a spaceship to get out. Remember when those big things
yeah.
where he went through the ship? So apparently there's different forms of
Hyperspeed.
plot.
Different levels.
Maybe he didn't like slam the clutch down or something. You know what I mean?
Basically.
he didn't pop the clutch when he went out.
If you could just hyperspeed into a giant ship and destroy it, why not hyperspeed into the Death Star?
Yeah, or the Death Planet.
Or the Death Planet?
And why do you need a lady to do that? Don't you have an
And by the way,
autopilot? And
Also, you have
when you're running that low on
you have
gas.
droids. You have droids everywhere.
I'm pretty sure they could have had some guy with the the DJI controller controlling that ship.
Well, it's just-
Guaranteed they have streaming.
It's just the
They can stream their gaming.
it's the whole like, for example, they introduced a bunch of new characters that all died. So I had no connect. Like, why not? I thought it would have been a lot better if that's how Admiral Akbar went out. You know what I mean? Maybe yelling trap this while he
I really think that's how he should have gone. But at the same time, a guy named Akbar kamikazing into a ship could cause some issues, like kind of thing. So
okay.
but the problem is they shouldn't be able to do that in the first place.
So we just spent 10 minutes ranting on Star Wars.
Well, it's because it's like,
Jordan's very passionate about it.
well, it's just like, it's like they have this guy who's like, all right, guys, what if we make them go to a planet and like rampage horses and then let them go? And they're like, oh, okay, what happens next? Oh, I don't know. I didn't think that far. Okay, let's put it in, and then we'll just jump to the next scene. It's like they're not, and I'm not a movie maker, so I don't know, but it feels from the audience standpoint that they're telling like half stories. You know what I mean?
Do you know what it needs? Because it's such a weird how they did all this movie. It just needs one-liners all over the place. So it makes it so bad that it's awesome.
So at least you can quote it.
Yeah.
Turn it into a Pacific Rim.
Like trap this.
Yeah.
When he-
Trap this, and it zooms in really close to his face.
So to save a bad movie. 2 ways. One-liners and boobs.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, and by the way, when you have someone float through space,
As Mary Poppins.
like, you got to make it much cooler than how you did.
Wait, who was flying through space?
Mary
Leia,
Poppins.
like-
Carrie Fisher.
Like, there was this intense again, they have like, okay, there's like
That was a perfect way to let her die.
there was like random 5-minute moments throughout the whole movie where you're like, oh, whoa, and then like the next minute they're like they let the intern write that sentence. You know what I mean? You're like, what happened? Like Kylo Ren, I think you like this part, David. He's like thinking about like, should I do it? Should I do it? I'm gonna do it, and then he's like, I can't do it, and he pulls off, and then like his friend behind him just shot it. I don't know. He was feeling good about himself that day. I don't know, he just was like, oh, I'll do it.
I got it. I'm up.
I got it, boss.
I got it, coach. Coach, I'm up.
Yeah, and he does it, and then and you're like, oh, because you're connected to Leia, right? You know what I mean? Because they actually told a good story in those ones. So you're connected to Leia, and you're like, oh, she's dead, and then all of a sudden, like,
That was in this movie. That was the first part.
and you're
that I
like,
was
whoa,
when she starts floating back, I was just
when that happened, I didn't think about how they were just having gravity in space. You know what I mean? When they were dropping bombs, which made no sense. Why not use Y-wings?
Maybe they shoot them, though. Maybe the bombs shoot out.
No, they literally like, hit the switch.
they had to do some serious finagling to get that into.
Maybe each one of those ships has its own gravitational pull.
Maybe.
Or
I don't know why you just didn't use the
shoot rockets.
Yeah, I don't know why you didn't just use the Y-wing bomber. I mean, it's in the title, Y-wing bomber.
Yeah, they use the big Mr. T ships.
Yeah,
that go in,
and then Leia floats, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, that's great. You know, you're kind of like and then she floats back, and then does literally nothing the rest of the movie, and then wakes up at the end. Like
okay,
there was
this is what we need to do. We need to just watch one of these movies with Jordan commentary.
Yeah,
I'm down with that.
For Bros Gone Wild, guys. One thing that we're doing before we get to our next,
but there was some Star Wars awesomeness this week that we'll talk about a little bit later.
Yes, there was.
Yeah.
Before one thing that we're doing that we'd like to do, Super Shark actually sent us a sweet Polaroid of himself.
Oh.
Standing,
I think it's Super Shocker. Right?
Super Shocker. Sorry, Super Shocker. Standing in front of one of our X1 Bros podcasts. We would like to make a wall of those. For those of you that are watching live on Discord, the picture is right above Jordan's head. We want to, and especially for the studio, we want to have a whole wall of all of the fans, either in X1 Bros gear, shirts, or watching the show. We think it would be really cool. So send us your pictures. P.O. Box 984, Farmington, Utah 84025. P.O. Box 984. Send us your pictures. Let's make a fan wall.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get to gaming, guys, we know this is an Xbox gaming show, but we all did see Shazam this last weekend.
Yeah.
We saw it on Saturday, last Saturday. I really enjoyed that movie. I think everybody should go see it. I thought it was really well done.
After I see a movie, I like to sit on it for a couple
I think it was
days.
the Guardians of the Galaxy of the DC.
Yeah, I could see that.
Which actually, ready for this, guys? I went and bought the comic.
Oh,
Shazam on Kindle. It's on my Kindle, so it's on my phone. The entire origin story of Shazam,
the New 52.
And you know who did it? You know who did the artwork for it? Who's the dude that did like the 1980s badass Batman?
Frank Miller.
Frank Miller
he
did the artwork
Spawn
for it.
too, right?
So cool.
Well, Frank Miller's the reason the Dark Knight's the Dark Knight.
Dude, Frank Miller also did Shazam.
Before that,
'cause-
he was a
Yeah,
Frank.
Frank Miller came in and did all that, and then Tim Burton was like, "Oh man, this is awesome!" And then Tim Burton made the movie.
Oh yeah, Todd McFarlane did Spawn. That's right. Thank you, Gamer Evolve. That's. Very
Anyways,
true.
he also he helped do this Shazam, and it is sweet. The comic is way better than the movie. I'll just say that. But
usually is.
But the movie,
They got one line.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. So go see it.
Yeah, I thought it. I thought it was good. So I don't think it's the best DC movie.
Oh no,
and I don't think it's the worst.
Best DC movie is Dark Knight by far, easy. No,
Yeah,
but,
Dark Knight trilogy.
But no, like the current generation of movies.
current generation. For me, Superman, the first one.
Yeah, I liked Man of Steel.
Worst one, Justice League. No,
I'd probably do Superman versus Batman.
Worst one, Aquaman. I'm sorry, I hate that.
Dude,
movie.
that one was awesome.
See that they saved that movie with one-liners.
Yeah,
They
that's how
did.
they did
That
that.
is
They were
true.
like, guys, how do we make a guy that swims in water cool?
a surfer,
Electric
dude.
guitar,
a surfer bro.
Slow
Long
motion.
hair, ripped abs, and a flute.
Two things: Nicole Kidman and one-liners. That'll save
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and it did.
I don't know. Yeah, well,
I think that's the worst current DC movie for me, though. Which one's yours?
me.
Yeah.
They're all kind of on a lower tier for me.
Even the Dark Knight though. The Dark Knight, I think, is
No, I'm
the
not
top superhero
including
movie.
that. That
Okay,
does
okay,
not
okay.
exist
That's
in
separate.
this.
We're talking
universe.
modern, I guess.
Yeah,
Post modern.
yeah. I don't know. I guess I would say Shazam is
Wonder Woman.
the best one.
Wonder Woman's really good.
Yeah, I really
It was
did enjoy.
okay.
I liked Wonder Woman.
It was okay.
Worst for me would probably a Suicide Squad was meh.
I don't count Suicide Squad as being part of it.
Oh, it's
But it is part of it.
literally part of it. There's
It's-
actually a part where he says Bruce Wayne is like, "Hey, this is part of this."
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
part of it.
Okay.
Unfortunately for you.
What's hard
The
is
new Joker, though.
the DC
That could
heroes
be
are
legit.
some of my favorite heroes. So it's
The
kinda
DC
like,
bad guys,
I'm trying not to be biased, but I kind of am. You know what I mean? Because they're just. It's like I don't know. It's like when you see Spider-Man. Like you want so much to like it, even if it's not like.
Also,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's
I
like
watched-
because it's your favorite.
I watched
you know?
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse this
I
weekend.
told you it's a good show, huh?
So I've watched it twice.
Yeah, it's good.
I don't watch movies twice. It
That's
takes me
the-
years to do that.
That's the first Spider-Man movie that I felt did justice to the comics.
It was so good. Like,
Yeah.
fantastic storytelling, great music, amazing, crazy cool graphics, and
Crazy
just
cool.
how they told the story. So good.
Yeah.
Blows my mind.
Yeah, so back to Shazam. I think it probably is the best one out of the DC, but...
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't... Those are not as... I wish they were better. I wish they were better. I'm a fan of...
They went in with no plan is their problem.
Yeah, well, yeah.
They went in with no
They
plan.
tried to do
I think they
the
need-
10-year
they tried
plan
to
in
wing
5
it.
years.
Yeah, they tried to
You know
wing
what I
it.
mean?
I think they need better directors. I probably get hate for that, but I think...
You didn't like the first Superman?
I think Shazam, I mean, it was his origin story, and it followed it pretty good, right? I think they had... Maybe it's because of the kids.
Yeah, you didn't like the kids.
But, well,
You don't like children.
I don't like bad acting. It's not a matter... I think children have a harder time acting well.
Sure.
And there's just some parts where you're just like, oh, okay, I'll let it slide. Oh, okay, I'll let it slide.
Yeah.
But,
I liked it. And when they switched... Oh, sorry. Well, I liked it.
Yeah.
I thought the kids were okay. They didn't bother me.
That takes me out of a movie. Anytime a movie makes me not feel like I'm involved and immersed in it, that's when I have a hard time. And this movie had some bad acting issues, but overall I think it was the better one. The story,
For me, it's number 2. Superman's number 1. Shazam's number 2.
The problem with Superman, what kept jarring me out of that, was the millions of plot holes in the story.
You say there's plot holes, but they're easily explained away. Like your big one is that he can't see his spaceship.
What,
underneath the barn.
when he was shoveling hay in the barn, he can't look down and see a spaceship with his X-ray vision?
Because at that time he couldn't control it. And when we're
He
introduced,
couldn't control it
when we're introduced to Superman, he's just discovering these things, right?
Then show the scene where he's in school and he's seeing everyone X-rayed after that, after when he's later on in life.
Yeah, that's fair
Don't give him his X-ray vision when he's 7, and then have 10 years of, I never looked down.
Well, no, because he wasn't. That was just coming and going randomly for him.
Okay, I don't think you've explained it easily, like you said. Another thing that bugs me.
Okay, wait a minute. I've got a question here. Then let's put plot holes in the Marvel Avengers movie, the latest one. If he has an Infinity Stone, why doesn't he just make more resources for everybody instead of killing half of mankind?
Well, because Thanos doesn't think that way.
Because Thanos is a dumbass.
See, that's easily explained. So I'm talking about plot holes,
That kills
not
the whole
character
movie.
flaws.
That kills the whole movie, though.
Not necessarily, because we don't know certain things. We don't know because I can explain that. But I don't want to fight an argument with a negative argument on something else.
Okay, Mrs.
If you want to talk about MCU, we can talk about MCU. But I'm talking about Superman right now.
Mrs. McSpicy brings up the best plot hole that even I have a problem with in that movie. And that is the end when Superman is destroying the city all over the place. He destroys the entire city.
Yeah.
And then Lois Lane is just there. That's the biggest part.
No.
Is he does
No,
destroy
more.
the whole city.
No,
There's more.
No, Metropolis is known for their fantastic
They
public
show-
transportation.
Why would you live in Metropolis if Metropolis is always being destroyed?
No, Metropolis is known for their fantastic public transportation.
Okay.
Good
Let's
thing they
focus
both
here.
knew Martha.
Let's focus here. They specifically, if Superman gets his power from the sun. They say that in the plot. He gets his power from
He goes stronger from the young yellow sun.
the yellow sun.
Yes.
Not a red sun, a yellow sun.
Yes.
That's where he gets his strength. That's where he gets...
Correct.
He'll be a god with that sun. They specifically say that. Then why, when he joins the spaceship, does he get a bloody nose and loses his power? It has nothing to do with atmosphere control. When he gets up to this, when Zod takes him into a spaceship, and he's like,
Yeah, and they put
I'm
in
weak
the,
now. It has nothing to do with that.
Isn't there kryptonite in that spaceship?
There's
No,
no
no.
kryptonite in there.
It's because of they change it back to the
And then the same
but
thing.
it's like
Kryptonian atmosphere.
Yeah, it's like being the same on Krypton, right?
Yeah.
No, but regardless, he has the abilities from the sun.
Not when he's inside the spaceship. He can't see the sun.
He's like a battery. And it's very easily explained that it works like a battery. All of a sudden, he loses a charge.
I don't know. You can argue the sun is a part of the atmosphere. Sun rays.
Sun
come
makes
through,
the atmosphere. It does make the atmosphere.
Buying that. That's the dumbest thing you have ever said, Jordan.
Well, and I don't know what if you're the strongest man in the world, you can still inhale a toxin. I don't know.
Kryptonian toxins.
But there is no Kryptonian... There's no radioactive Krypton meteorites in that ship. There's nothing like that. It's very specific. It's the air he
Well,
breathes.
actually, what about
it shows that it's what he's breathing. And the guy says, "Oh, he's not used to the pressure of this atmosphere.
Well,
That's why it's doing that."
What about this though? As a human being, when you live here in the United States, you move down to, I don't know, the rainforest, your body is going to react different because it's a different climate.
Wait, doesn't this happen?
But
Same
Your
thing?
body's
we're not
gotta get used to it.
Superman!
Well, doesn't the same thing happen to the bad guys when they come down to Earth? They're in
The
masks
same.
at
I have the
first.
problem with that too. I have a problem with that.
Yeah, but I think that solves that plot hole. Like
No, it doesn't.
they're adjusting. He's lived there, so he doesn't need to adjust.
It's
a
not the
child.
atmosphere. It's the sun. They should be looking out that window and being like, "Whoa, man, my muscles are getting tighter."
All right, let's move on.
And they already know this.
Let's move on since this is an Xbox show. To the news. Do you wanna hit the button?
gosh.
Want to hit the button?
You guys got me mad. I'm gonna hit the button, but I'm gonna take my time. Here we go. I'm really not.
There it is. Jordan, tell us what is happening in the world of Xbox
I wasn't
One this
taking my
week.
time. I was drinking a drink when you said that. So
So we got the launch trailer for World War Z. You guys see that?
I did not actually see that.
So not only is it a movie with Brad Pitt that actually wasn't too bad,
yeah,
it is a new game.
very good. Does it look good?
Yeah, it looks really fun. It's kind of like your Left 4 Dead. It's got your co-op story-driven campaign with your missions and stuff. What's really cool is you're going to fight hundreds of zombies on screen at a time because I guess the engine was developed to,
Do that.
show hundreds of zombies, and it's pretty cool. I mean, they just run at you, and it's kind of like holy cow, But what's really interesting is they have a game mode called it's basically player versus player versus zombie. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting to see how that works out. You're going to have two different teams. You're going to be fighting zombies while fighting each other. So it's going to be kind of an interesting dynamic.
Very cool.
So now jumping back into Star Wars,
Yeah.
there
Big
was
news.
some Star Wars news.
There was.
One, the new movie's coming out, which is cool, and then Star Wars: The Fallen Order, which is the new. Which, by the way, that's a title.
It's Star Wars Jedi: The Fallen Order.
Oh yeah, sorry, we had this
Yeah.
whole discussion
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Yes, we did.
But anyway, regardless, that's a title. That's how you title.
That is a good title.
Yeah. So anyway, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
They've released some artwork. They released.
And by
this-
the way, that was some sweet artwork. That's how you hype something up.
It is cool artwork. EA also released this GIF or this movie where it's basically a lightsaber unopened, right? So it's a closed lightsaber on a stone, and there's embers floating in front of it.
Yeah. Fascinating, but
Looks
what's really
really cool.
cool is in the movie, or sorry, in the screenshot that they released, it's a Jedi with a lightsaber. Well, I don't know, maybe it's a Jedi. I don't know what it is. Someone with a lightsaber.
Yeah.
And in the distance, there's like a crashed Republican Star Destroyer.
Republican.
Oh, sorry, Republic. The Republic. Sorry.
Republican. They went political.
Yeah.
They definitely went
Sorry.
political.
The
on this one.
Republic, the Republic Star
Yeah,
Destroyers.
yeah.
It's that model, which is interesting. So it's really cool. Which I think it takes place like after Revenge of the Sith. So
Yeah.
when Emperor Palpatine is like using his power to take over the universe.
So we actually got a question here from Eric Slayton. Eric Slayton wrote in to and left this question in our mailbag. He says, "Hey XoneBros, my question is: Are you excited for Star Wars: The Fallen Jedi, new EA Star Wars game, and what do you hope they do with it?" So Jordan, let's start with you. What do you what do you hope this game is?
It's a game from Respawn Entertainment, which is really cool, and just
So they should have tight controls.
Yeah, just noteworthy to say, Respawn came out and said there will be no microtransactions and no multiplayer. So it's going to be a story-driven game.
Yeah. So I don't think this is what I think it's going to be an action adventure type of game. So what was
Like an Uncharted
What
type
was
of-
the Star Wars game where you went through and you could like electrocute people and
The Force Unleashed.
and The Force Unleashed? I think it's going to be more like that, where you tell this story, but you're going through just blowing things up the whole time.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
that.
So not so much like RPG, like, hey, let me make decisions. Depending on those decisions, how I interact with you changes the story. No, I think it's one story. I think they're Tomb Raidering it, right? One story, you go through, very action adventure-y, telling this.
Yeah, no, I think so
With
too. I think it's going
Respawn
to be
controls. Ooh.
and maybe Titans. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they throw some Titans in there. Apex.
Those are called AT-ATs.
Oh, yeah, they are. They're already in there.
Yeah, that's what I think, though. McSpicy, how about you? What do you hope from Star Wars Jedi: The Fallen Order?
Character development, maybe.
Yeah. Well, if it's a single player game, so there's no multiplayer.
No loot boxes. No
that-
Well,
that-
I mean, maybe there's loot boxes. There's no microtransactions.
They're probably going to have loot boxes. Every game has a loot box when they shouldn't have.
They're called force crates.
Force crates. And then it'll give you a possible, whatever. I'm actually quite excited. I think it's going to be, because it's a dedicated single player game.
I think that's what's most exciting.
It's going to be a rich storytelling experience in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for. That's what it sounds like it's going to be. With a single player game, they have way more control on the immersibility of the game.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
I
so
agree.
I
And
nice deep one.
Okay, what I hope it's not an open world game. I like games like this, like Tomb Raider, linear storylines in these games too. I don't want an open world like go talk to anybody. No, give me linear, give me quests. You got to get from point A to point B and just go tell the story that way. I think it's easier to do. Number one, and it's just more engaging for me as a user instead of having this overwhelming freedom to go do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just need a linear experience, and I hope this is that.
Well, I think Tomb Raider does it really well in the fact that it's not an open world game, but there's kind of the overworld where you can kind of like there's this open area or like there's a zone that's kind of open, and you basically got to end up point A to B, but you can get to point from A to B a couple different ways. But no, I agree with you, David. I kind of hope they take that Tomb Raider route, and kind of do that.
Just give me linear, right? Like I enjoy linear every once in a while. I think
Who doesn't?
I think that's actually why I really like
Doom,
Wolfenstein.
yeah.
They went linear. They simplified it.
Single player, and the story is great.
Super smooth, right? Anyways, I'm trying to look up. Sorry, I know.
And it shows off tough parenting.
Jordan, do you know the reveal date on this? I know the reveal date is this week, but here we go. I got it. The reveal is April 13th. So what is that? Today's the 11th. Today's the 12th. This is tomorrow? This is tomorrow. The reveal is tomorrow. So by the time you're listening to this, you probably have already seen the reveal.
And we're probably 100% wrong.
We could be completely wrong on this, so we apologize.
Probably a Battle Royale game.
I don't apologize.
And it's 12:30 our time, Mountain Standard Time. 12:30 tomorrow, the reveal of this trailer. So that's super exciting. Really, there you go. That's what we want out of the new Star Wars trailer. Thank you very much, Eric Slayton, for writing in. Great question.
Yeah. With that, we also got Sea of Thieves coming out with the anniversary update, which comes out on the 30th of April,
Dude,
so not too
boy.
far away.
The big boy.
Yep, we get the arena, and we also get a quest line called Tall Tales, which is going to be really fun. So,
And fishing's already here.
yeah.
We should jump back into Sea of Thieves, guys.
We really should.
It just-
we really should.
It's completely different than it was when we played.
It really
there's
is.
so much more to do.
It really is.
More ships, more dinghies.
Yeah.
It's what
They have rowboats. They have ghost pirates.
they have. Ghost pirates.
Yeah,
They do.
They have lots of stuff.
Yeah, we should jump back in. I like that. Do you have a problem with that? Do you wish they released like this? Like they delayed the game and this was their release with all the content, or is
Well, I
it
know,
okay in
it's
this
just-
type of game?
honestly,
to
it's just-
gradually release stuff.
It's just natural progression. So if they would have released it like this a year from today, you're going to be like, oh, there's so much more in the game. You know what I mean? It's just the nature of games.
McSpicy,
Especially live
How about
games
you?
like
You
that.
think in this type of game, like a live service game, that they should have released with how they are today, or you don't mind them releasing and then changing it over time?
I don't know. I had fun playing it, but it was fun not for the reasons people complained about not having a lot of stuff in this game when it released.
Sure.
But I enjoyed it because I was a pirate and I made my own stories.
It really was, and that's where
Well,
it
that was
shined,
the
right?
idea
And
of
with
the
your
game,
friends, right?
Yeah.
Also, was beautiful.
And I dug the art style.
The art style was amazing.
Yeah,
Is amazing.
So I think this is a unique case. Normally, I would like a lot of content, polished game, kind of on release. Right? I don't like things changing. Being forced to change so much a year later because it was released too soon. Like I said, there really wasn't too much out there, but it was fun being a pirate.
It was a sandbox game. It was good at what it did, right?
Yeah, so I think this is a unique case. But normally, I would say, give me.
I'm
stuff.
excited. I definitely plan on jumping back in and checking it out. So there you go.
Yeah.
The mega update. Here it comes.
Yeah, there's also new games coming to Game Pass.
Oh, there's a big one.
Yeah, check.
There is
I
a
think
big one.
I think there may be 6 big ones.
Dude, there's a couple big ones, but
So
a
let's
big one.
let's start with big number 1,
Big boy.
Monster Hunter.
Oh my goodness.
Literally big. An
Big,
Anjanath.
huge.
You get to kill an Anjanath.
An Anjanath as
For
many
just
times
$10
as you
a
want.
month.
Coming
just
to
$10 a month.
Coming to Game Pass. This game
That's pretty good.
This game is so good.
Another one Mark and I played through, Resident Evil 5.
Boom.
Yeah, it's very fun.
That was a fun one.
One that I played through, The Golf Club 2.
Oh, the Golf Club 2.
Life is Strange 2.
Life is Strange 2. The Walking Dead, a Telltale game.
I'm okay with that one. But
And
Prey,
Prey.
which I've not yet played through, but I need to. All
It
on Game
was-
Pass. Dude, the Game Pass
a little
value.
frightening.
The Game Pass value is so huge.
It's huge.
It's huge.
It's the size of the Anjanath.
It's the size of the Andronath.
Bigger.
It's bigger.
Bigger than the
Better.
Anjanath.
No, who was the bird with the feathers? That guy annoyed me, and he was poison.
Oh yeah, he's the cuckoo bird
The
or whatever.
cuckoo bird with the
and he would
feathers.
like grab the rock and
Oh, that dude annoyed me.
yeah,
I hated that guy.
yeah. I called him
Also,
Big
the
Bird.
the
Rob.
flying squirrel electric tiger. Remember that one too?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
he wasn't unlocked until later.
Yeah.
like the first 3 monsters.
Also annoying.
no, he's fine.
I found him
You
annoying.
just had to wear the armor that didn't get you shocked as much.
I never wore it. I fought him armorless. I basically fought him naked.
That's probably why you didn't like him.
If you haven't checked out Monster Hunter, now's the time to get in. It's so good.
Yes. One of my favorite games of all time, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
Sekiro.
Guess what they did?
They sold a bunch of copies.
which is really awesome.
2 million.
2 million copies in 10 days.
10 days.
Which is really fantastic
Whoa.
because that means a lot of people bought it, a lot of people
Yeah.
like it, and it means there's going to be
Did
more.
you see? I think
Sekiro.
I think it was the director.
2.
I think it was the director that said he wants to tell an open world, very story driven game next.
Dude, I'll tell you, if he puts some of what I saw in that game towards the end there, I'm in.
What's
I can't tell you without spoiling it, and I'll tell you, it's one of the weirdest, most awesome cutscenes I've ever seen in my life.
is this your
Like,
weird
it-
discussion that we were having earlier?
It trumps any Dark Souls cutscene
oh,
by far.
oh,
Like, it is probably the best, weirdest cutscene I've ever seen. Because it literally makes no sense, and there's some weird stuff.
In a good way.
In a good way. Yeah, it's I cannot wait till we talk about it.
Okay.
So,
Well,
Also,
I kind of stopped playing that, David.
ooh.
Well, you know this.
Oh.
I got scared.
Oh, that's
you
right.
got scared?
I got
Wait,
scared.
what scared you?
Jordan knew something was up when I was playing Stardew Valley.
Yeah, I messaged him. I was like, "What are you farming for?"
What the hell are you playing? That's what George's response was.
I defriended him.
Stardew Valley? You were just playing Sekiro. What happened?
Yeah, I got scared. There's a really big snake that I had to go try to figure out how to kill, and then guys came out of the walls, and
They do.
I got scared.
It was pretty scary.
It really stressed me out.
Are you still at that part?
Yeah, I
Oh,
haven't
okay.
gone back.
Did
It's
I?
been-
You got my
it's been
message
like-
right. I killed the snake.
I know you did. It's been like 4 days. It's been like 4 days, and it was too scary.
Yeah.
It's just those guys that come out of the walls. I just didn't like.
It was scary.
It was like,
but the end is hilarious.
Did you finally beat that guy or no?
I haven't gone back. I've played Stardew Valley.
I did.
Jordan did.
Did you beat him?
I was
Yeah,
ahead.
actually,
and then he caught
Mark
up.
was ahead of me, and I called him. What was it? Tuesday, Wednesday? I can't remember, but I said, "Hey, man, run through your strategy with me again," because I was struggling with
Check
this
this
one
out.
boss. Yeah, and Mark was like, "Okay, well, I'm not doing anything. I'll just come over."
I'm coming over and I'm going to coach you.
Oh, okay.
Did you
so,
coach him?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. It took probably 30 minutes or so. I mean,
and I was
yeah.
like, okay, you
Were
got
you like
this.
massaging his
Calm
shoulders?
down.
You were in his corner.
No, he was being a coach.
I was-
He was punishing me when I needed to be punished, and he uplifted me when I needed to be uplifted.
Oh.
And during the fights, I'm like, it's all about, fundamentals, just fundamentals,
Yeah.
patience. All right, block nice. Now jump in. Okay, good, good, nice job. I was really like Mick in the
Yeah, it
corner.
really was. And we beat him, and I just like couldn't stop playing after that.
It's like a weight off your
Yeah,
shoulders.
it really was.
He was playing like my favorite boss fight I've ever had in any video game.
Oh.
It was
When was this?
Genichiro.
Was this
Yeah.
the bull?
No,
No.
this is past the bowl.
Although that was a good time as well.
This is like, it was just a fun fight. It was basically an anime fight. Remember, it's the guy that...
Yeah, he was like, "Okay, you're good. Let me
Oh,
take off my
yeah,
shirt."
when he
real
was
quick."
like, all right, you're good.
yeah, you
Let
told
me
me about
rip
that.
my shirt off and shine, hit you with
Yeah,
lightning.
you told me that.
It's a really good fight.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, you know what, Jordan? Instead of doing this over the phone, I'm going to come over and we're going to do this together.
Yeah, no, it was fun. And then you got to get to the part where I'm at because it's pretty cool. So there's a lot of stuff happening.
I
so
know.
I beat the snake, which is a scary guy,
Okay.
and then I had, and this is only From Software can do this. I had the funniest boss fight I've ever had in my entire life. Like, I was laughing the entire time because of the mechanics.
Through the boss fight?
Yeah, through the boss fight. And then that very same boss fight, about 5 minutes later, made me crap my pants. And only this game can do that to you. It was the monkey. Have you fought him yet?
I haven't gone past the snake.
So there's a big ape.
And he's literally a monkey.
Well, he's a big ape.
Okay, he's a giant ape.
Yeah. And anyway, and you fight him, and he has the funniest moveset.
Oh, really?
It was hilarious. I was laughing so
Wait,
hard.
what does he do?
Are you okay if I tell the
I
the
don't
moves?
know. I don't know because it'll be
Okay,
spoilers.
tell me after. Tell me later.
Okay, anyway, the funniest moveset I've ever seen, and then later he made me like crap my pants because he did something really scary, and
That
you're
is
like,
awesome.
holy,
Dude,
yeah.
that is awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Next up, Game Pass.
I think we already talked about.
Oh,
Game
sorry.
Pass.
I don't
Next
know
up,
there's a spring sale. Spring
Yeah,
sale.
the big.
Sale.
It snowed today, so you know what that means.
Springtime.
Must be spring.
Must be spring. This is where we're at.
So spring sale, I believe, just started today with savings on up to 65% off on more than 500 digital games and add-on packs.
Yeah, it looks like most stuff is around 50% off.
And you can get 3 months of Xbox Game Pass for guess how much? Guess how much? Guess.
$10.
$1.
Oh,
Wow.
that's a good one. That is a good one.
$1.
Highly recommend it. There's also some 360 ones on here too. I
Oh,
like
there's
this
a
stuff.
ton.
Yeah,
There's
go
a
check it
ton,
out,
man.
guys. Big sale. Most things looks about around 50% off.
So this goes through, is it April 27th? Yeah, so it goes through April 27th. It started today, April 12th, so it's about a week, 2 weeks, right? So
Boom.
anyway, check it out. It's a lot of good deals out there.
Very good deals. Very.
Good
I like
deals.
it. Good deals. Good deals. That brings us to the last segment of our show. Ooh, Spicy was ready. And
Yeah.
ooh.
I just wanted to press the button.
This is the portion of the show where we take your questions. If you want to submit a question, you can do so every single week over on Patreon to the mailbag, the mail sack, the junk mail, whatever we decide to call it that week. I think this week it's just the mailbag. But you can submit a question, and then we'll answer it on the show. First question comes from Psychotic415. Psychotic says, what's going on, guys? Hope Dave and his family are feeling better. Slowly but surely. Thank you very much, Psychotic. He says, my question this week, do you guys have a favorite mobile game? And is there a mobile game that you would like to see come to console? Keep up the great work and stay positive. Right now, I am playing Ingress,
Oh, yes.
and I think it's freaking awesome. It's basically war.
Oh, you can't go wrong with that.
Real life war.
War never changes.
Yeah.
Real life war. And I own. So basically, Ingress is the game that superseded. Barbara Blake told us about this game. He's been playing it for years. It superseded
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go. And you go to locations, you take it over, you try to hold on to them and keep them, and then it's blue versus green. I'm on blue, and I'm fighting green. I own basically all of my town. This whole town is mine.
Nice.
Yeah,
I own
so
it.
it's all about what you fight with triangles, and it's a geo kind of game, right?
It's like a geocaching, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
You got to go to the location. You've
It's-
got to take it over. You get experience for going around and taking stuff over and leveling up, stuff like that.
The way Pokemon Go works is because of this game. These are the guys who developed Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
right?
so they have all the landmarks. It's the same landmarks. Like where there's a landmark in Ingress, that's a gym in Pokemon. So that's how it works.
Yeah.
But Jordan and I actually went around like at 11 o'clock at night one night, and I was like, Jordan, you got to come with me. And we were standing in the middle of a park, and it was dark out, and we were taking over some spots. But right now, that's my mobile game.
Yeah.
What could it come to Xbox? No, I don't.
Hey, you take your Xbox everywhere you go.
Other than that, I don't play.
Might make it more challenging.
Other than that, I don't really play mobile games. Jordan, how about yourself?
My wife and I play Pokemon Go, which since it's the same developer of Ingress, I'm just two birds, one stone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Boom, just switch
Just
over.
keep them both open.
Well, because all the points on there are the
They're the
same,
same,
right?
yeah.
That's it. That's
Spicy,
it.
do you play any?
Zero.
Zero.
I would play
Well,
Hearth-
wait, Hearthstone, yeah.
I would play Hearthstone on there, but since it crashes every match and
Does
then
it
I lose a
really?
match,
Really?
yeah, it's just mobile's just unstable.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a Candy Crush style game, which I don't like because I don't like having to wait 10 hours to get a new life.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Why hasn't Hearthstone come to the Xbox yet? Overwatch is there.
Because Blizzard doesn't like consoles.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think when they did Diablo, I think they were like, who cares?
Well, I think they did it, and then maybe that guy left. Then they're like, well, what if we put it on the phone?
Stan's not here. Let's just keep it up. Let's not.
Yeah.
Then they
Stan
go,
left.
Well, tell you what, let's make the new Diablo mobile only.
Yeah, so they don't like console, but they like mobile. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so
they enjoy gamers of all.
I don't. I did see.
Stuff.
I did see that Stardew Valley is on mobile now.
Oh,
And so I guess I would choose that one. But honestly, I don't like the instability of mobile, and I hate how when you play a game, your battery life gets cut into like
a third.
no, yeah.
That's why Ingress is great, because I have my little phone dock in my car and it's just plugged
got the
right
anchor
up.
with you.
Just plugged right up.
My phone is not meant for gaming on the go. My Switch is meant for gaming on the go.
Great question. Thank you very much. Psychotic The Red writes in and says, what game release are you most looking forward to between now and E3? For myself, I've said this before. I will say it again. Rage 2. There was a new trailer out this week, actually.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
For Rage 2. Looks
More
awesome.
Rage.
They had redneck robots, and I believe that's what they called them. Redneck robots. Or redneck something. It was a giant machine. It looked awesome that you're fighting in Rage 2.
Yeah.
That's the game that I'm most looking forward to between now and E3. Oh, I cannot wait. Jordan, how about yourself?
Rage 2.
Rage 2 as well?
Yeah, it's gonna be a
Rage
fun
2
one.
too?
2-2.
Oh, you had a chance to jump into Borderlands, by the way.
Yeah, Mark did too. Yeah, that was
How is
Borderlands
Remastered.
Remastered Game of the Year edition.
Yeah, how is that?
I think there's some netcode issues. I'm going to go ahead and say that.
Sure.
There's some laggy spikes, and there are problems with me shooting enemies that don't get shot.
Okay.
But I actually, something like that would normally make me not want to play it. I like the game anyways, so.
Does that
it's really
game-
fun.
We might have to. We haven't explored we'll have to try hosting from another box because it might have been like just weird internet issues. Or something
Let's
like
try
that.
hosting from mine.
Yeah, we'll see how it works
next time.
You get the host advantage.
Does this game stand the test of time? Like it still feels good? Or is it
Well,
the
I
type
mean,
of game that
it's
ages?
the remastered one, right? So
They made it feel better.
Yeah. Well, I saw because you're utilizing like mini-map they added that wasn't in the first one. Or wasn't
was
in
the
the
mini
original.
map not in there? I thought it was.
No, mini-map wasn't in the
I
original.
didn't think it was, but maybe I'm wrong. It's been so long.
No. That was one of the big things they focused on when they announced the remastered. Now you can
Oh.
have access to a mini-map.
It's so commonplace that I.
But
thought
I
it
was watching.
always there.
I was watching you guys play, and
Well,
it
it's
made
the,
me want to go play
It's
it.
the original looter shooter, man.
It's a good formula, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah.
It's really good.
Now, as far as with the remastered, is it remastered enough to be called a remastered, or do you not think so?
No, yeah, it's only $30.
Yeah.
I think that game's fabulous.
Is the animation updated, or not really? Like the animations, the graphics. It's hard to tell in a cell shade.
Well, yeah. Here's the deal. I can play it now, and it feels and plays great, but I can't remember 10 years ago when I played the original
Yeah,
how much
yeah,
it was
right.
different.
What I'm really excited for is and I don't mean this in a bad way, but like hurry up and beat number 1 because I really want to jump into number 2 because number 2 I think was like
They hit their stride.
pinnacle. Yeah. They're just like, okay, they had that hold my beer thing. Hey,
I
hold my
will-
beer. I'm gonna make a sequel real quick.
I will say, just watching you guys play it when you were streaming it made me want to jump in and play it. It's that good. What a good game. What a good formula. I'm glad they're sticking with that formula. So I'm really excited. Really excited for that.
Yeah, I was actually looking up some. There's a couple leaks here and there about the new Borderland 3, and I was kind of having my own theories and such things. And
Yeah. So
it looks exciting.
So
It looks
would
fun.
you recommend people purchasing that? The remaster?
Yeah, why not? It's fun.
And does it do a good job? So, for instance, you guys played with Barbara Blake, who had never played the series before.
I feel bad because I think we've legitimately gotten him addicted to the game.
So he's legit.
He has
addicted.
headaches when he wakes up.
It's just a good formula,
Yeah,
right?
it's
like
really good.
it's
Fun.
it's such a good formula.
And I told him if you're getting addicted now, just wait till you hit the good stuff.
Yeah, we're not
Number
into the
2
good stuff.
Number 2 really does a good job. Fantastico.
Yeah, there you go. So go check out the remastered version. McSpicy, game you're most looking forward to between now and E3.
It's interesting. So you said Rage 2. I have a list in front of me. I'm gonna have to say probably Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's actually
Mortal
just,
Kombat looks good.
Yeah.
Just at the end of this month.
The
I
most
believe.
violent game ever made of all time coming.
It's always
Next
a good
month.
time.
Yeah, you know what gets me about the media? I'm just going to go off on a tangent here, right?
Oh, here we go.
They complain up and down about Grand Theft Auto, how it's teaching kids bad things. You never hear anything about Mortal Kombat.
You used to. When I was
Yeah.
a kid, Mortal
When-
Kombat was like, our kids are going to hell.
When it was on
and
So it was the battle. It was the pinnacle of the battle between Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, and everybody purchased Mortal Kombat on Sega Genesis because you had blood.
more blood,
You
yeah.
had blood. On Super Nintendo, you only had sweat that came off. There was no blood.
I remember that. That's like
And that was the war
That
between
was-
the two consoles, and so everybody had a Sega Genesis with Mortal Kombat because of that.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways,
Well, what do they just give up? The media just give up?
Yeah, I don't know why they don't complain about the violent, because that is easily the most violent
Well,
game.
Like, I
it's
don't like.
It's not just violent. This is how they create a fight, or like the mechanics in that game. Okay, what's the most bloody thing we can do? And then what can we add to that? And then what can we add to that? And then what can we add to that? Right?
Yeah.
And that's not even a fatality. That's just your regular punch.
because it goes every time you see a new fatality for the first time. You're like, oh.
Is it? Do people not have problem with Mortal Kombat because it's in this fantasy fake world anyways, whereas Grand Theft Auto is like trying to be like, this is a realistic city, telling a more realistic story. Maybe people have problems with that.
Well, I mean, Grand Theft Auto is like over the top. I wouldn't necessarily call it realistic.
I think they pick and choose.
Hey, it's whoever comes to the office that
It's
day.
basically people that don't play games trying to figure things
No,
out.
I agree with that. So Mortal
They
Kombat,
don't play.
Mortal
them.
Kombat and
If
Rage
someone
2.
were to show them Mortal Kombat, oh, they would do an article on it.
Yeah.
It's just.
Hey, watch this. Is that your character?
Mortal Kombat.
You think that's bad? Check this out. Yeah.
Mortal Kombat and Rage 2, the two games we're most looking forward to between now and E3. Thank you very much. The Red Noob Dream writes in and said, hello, good people and brothers of the Xbox. One of the show segments that make me laugh the most are when you guys talk about food. So,
I love food.
So-
It's my favorite.
Here we go. And we're going to start with Jordan, because Jordan, he's got to go to right away.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So, what are your favorite kinds of gaming snacks or food, and why? Jordan.
McDonald's double cheeseburger
Ooh, why?
because they're cheap and delicious.
The way he likes it.
Yeah.
Cheap and delicious.
And they, I don't know, they come wrapped for you. You just throw the wrapper in the bag. Don't even got to worry about a trash can or anything.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of self-contained.
Now, what about liquid? I know you're a Mountain Dew guy. Have you spawned off of Mountain Dew at all?
I like
Do you
Mountain Dew.
always do the Dew?
I like Mountain Dew.
Canned, bottled? What do you go?
Canned.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Jordan has his wife trained.
Oh,
Like,
really?
trained.
Oh, really?
I don't know if she listens to this, man.
No, I'm just compliments to her. Compliments
Oh,
to her
yeah.
because I went. We talked about it. I went over to his
coach,
house
yeah.
to coach, and she comes in and goes, "Okay, Powerade, right? Mark, do you want blue?" Like, yeah, I'll take it.
Wait, you guys, so she understands gaming mode. Gaming mode snacks.
Well, I like the only flavor Powerade I'll drink.
Mountain.
It's blue.
She went to the store and got me and Jordan a Powerade. She must have
She
known
actually
we were
got
on.
me. She actually got me 4.
Oh.
She knew we were on that bus. She understood. And so it's compliments to her.
Well done, Jordan.
Yeah.
Well done. You've incepted her.
I felt kind of bad because at that same time she asked me about those DVDs or those Blu-rays,
That was so funny.
and I didn't know how to nicely say it. So I,
So,
you know what I mean? I just
yes,
shoot straight, man.
let me
I just
tell
tell
you.
it like it is.
Let me
Yeah,
let me tell you kind of the background. So we're sitting there playing, and she comes in to, you want blue? And I'm like, you're dang right, I want blue. Blue's the best Powerade there is.
Mountain Blast, I believe.
Yes.
We're in Jordan's gaming den, his
Okay.
office area, and on the floor there's just this random stack of Blu-ray
Blu-rays and
movies.
stuff, yeah.
And she goes, "Why'd you take these down here? Why'd you take these?" And Jordan goes, "These are the ones I care about. I don't want these ones broken because
Yeah.
his boy's getting
Yeah, children.
children, right? So he just hoards his own stuff in that room."
I don't want you to touch these. That's why they're down here.
I didn't know how to nicely say it. They're mine.
I moved all my Blu-rays digital. It's fantastic.
No, yeah.
It's a new
I
thing
actually
that
watched
went
John
through.
Wick digitally this week.
Ooh, John Wick.
That show is so awesome.
Dude, I'm watching The Equalizer. I hear good things about The
That's a
Equalizer.
good one
I'm gonna
too.
watch that
Can I
digitally.
tell you, one day I want to be introduced like John Wick was introduced in that movie.
Yeah.
So after we've talked about it, after his dog dies and the young kid goes back to his father beats the crap out of him for messing with John Wick, and he goes,
He's like, who
he
cares
goes, yeah,
about this
who,
guy?
who is this John Wick? And he goes, John Wick? It's Baba Yaga. And they were like, and he was like, and that's Russian for boogeyman.
Yeah.
He was like, the boogeyman? And the father was like, no, not the boogeyman. the guy you sent to kill the boogeyman. And then he goes, and then he's talking to him, and he goes, one time, I saw John Wick kill 4 men in a bar with a pencil. A pencil, right? And he like,
Who does that?
he was like, who can do that? One pencil, 4 guys.
The best is the phone call where he's like,
yeah.
he's like, so I hear you punched my son. And the guy's like, yeah, you're dang right I did. He killed his dog and took his car. He killed John Wick's dog and took his car. And the guy's like, oh, okay.
He was like,
Beep.
oh, and he hung up.
Oh, shoot.
Have you not seen John
I've
Wick
not
yet?
seen John
It is.
Wick
Oh,
yet.
it's so good.
And then, like, by the way, as he's explaining this John Wick, it like keeps flashing over to Keanu Reeves, and he's got his long hair and he's sweating, and he's got this sledgehammer, and it's like this slow motion walk down the stairs, and it's basically a Keanu Reeves sledgehammer, montage almost while he's telling the story because he's breaking up the concrete to get out his weapons.
Oh, because he buried them.
I should show you that part on YouTube. It's like a 5-minute scene. It's
Okay,
so
we
good.
don't. Let's get back to gaming
Sorry.
snacks. Jordan does.
What?
You clearly do Mountain Dew as well.
Yeah.
I mean, not Mountain Dew. Powerade.
Powerade, yeah.
Powerade.
Blue
Very
Powerade.
nice. Powerade. McDonald's. Chips. You got any chips in the?
No, they're too messy.
Chips are too.
Nice thing about a cheeseburger is you can actually hold it in your mouth while eating the rest of it. You
This
really
is
don't
true.
have to
Yeah, that's true.
take your hands off
Your
the controller.
convenience there.
Yeah.
McSpicy, gaming snacks. Go-to gaming snack.
John Wick changed movies forever for me.
For you?
Yeah. It's the new Rocky 4 for
Yeah.
me. Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to say that. I like hot dogs.
Oh, I've never. That's a new one.
I like hot dogs. They're so easy to make.
What's your favorite kind of hot dog? The all beef, the Polish, the kielbasa.
The kielbasa.
I like kielbasas, baby.
I just like the standard.
And all- and all
just-
beef?
Like
Man meat.
I like. It's the same reason I like. I mean, I like glazed donuts. I'm the classic. I don't like all the bells and whistles. I just want a glazed donut. I don't like the cake donuts. I don't like the frosting donuts. I don't mind the raspberry cream filled stuff.
Dude,
That's
let me
okay.
Tell you, bacon donut. Ooh.
Just give me the standard deep fried sugar pastry glazed donut.
I can appreciate that.
I just want a hot dog. Don't
can
give me the
appreciate that
bells
too.
and whistles. I just want a hot dog.
I can appreciate that.
And I like
That being said, a kielbasa.
Kielbasa.
I mean, that's a
with
man's
some
dog.
barbecue sauce
Yeah.
on that, some onions.
So the hot dog comes from like the baby pig.
Yeah.
The kielbasa comes from daddy pig.
Daddy.
yeah. I also
where does it go?
I also
know.
really like fruit leather.
Oh, you're a fruit
Oh.
leather guy.
Yeah.
Way to be healthy.
Because you got to balance. This is very important. You got to
Yeah.
balance your diet with salts and your sodiums and your sugars.
Yeah.
So it may be Skittles, Sour Patch Kids. You got to keep those up. You got to keep your sugars up, but then you got to get those salts in there,
Yeah, I'm not really
like hot dogs, chips.
I can appreciate that.
I like the good chips that I like. I like the spicy Cheetos.
Those are good. Dude, the with limon.
Yeah.
Lemon.
And you can feel your body going out of whack. And when you're like getting losing sugar, you pop those Skittles, pop those.
Loopy.
Yeah. And you just got to keep your balance. Just keep it balanced.
I actually don't eat while I game. That's actually why I like to game, because I don't eat. Like it's
like a dieting technique.
But it's a dieting technique because my hands are full. My hands are.
You don't want to get the joysticks.
Now, when
messed
I
up.
watch TV and movies, that's when I eat. And let me tell you, chips and salsa is my go-to
yeah.
snack.
So I also like some chocolate truffles. Just throw that in there. But you mix that with almonds. And you can do it with fruit leather, but you can also use it with cranberry craisins.
Yeah.
You mix that. It's like your own little trail mix. And it does the sugars and salts perfectly.
In chat, Doritos Cool Ranch chips. Those are good. Gamer Evolve. Beast420 says Costco hot dogs for life. We've got a couple Costco hot dogs. NC State guy says Cheetos and beer for me.
Yeah, see Cheetos. That's good.
Loyal Doyle requires a normal glazed donut, but also requires marshmallows on his brownies.
No, he's making fun.
he's
Loyal Doyle is making fun of me. He's saying Spicy requires a normal glazed donut, but requires marshmallows on his brownies. I love marshmallows on my brownies.
Dude, marshmallows kind of are underrated sometimes.
When they're toasted on chewy brownies. But the worst is when you find out somebody put nuts in those brownies, and then you're like, oh, now I got to throw this crap away.
Dude, I love nuts.
D's nuts?
D's nuts. Depends on the nuts. That's an episode. He got me back.
Got him!
There's an episode where I say that to Spicy.
Got him!
Oh, he got me. He got me. Beast says when he's going for a super long gaming session, he drinks pre-workout supplements. Focusing it, dude. Pre-workouts, let me tell you. You crash though hard. So
I can't do that stuff.
You got about two. You got a good 2 hours. If you need 2 hours to blast through in a gaming session, and you want to just hyper focus, a pre-workout drink will do it. But then you crash,
I had a
and
bad
you crash, and you crash hard. You like hallucinated. You took a hallucinogen.
I had a really bad
That day.
experience.
That day.
When Jordan overdosed me. I don't do pre-workout anymore. Out of principle.
Fluff and Nutter is the ultimate gaming sandwich. Loyal Doyle needs to try those fancy brownies still. And Spicy has the most entertaining pre-workout story ever. He literally saw an arm like coming from the ceiling,
I had been watching Stranger
Demogorgon.
Things.
opening from hell and coming up to grab him.
Oh, gosh.
It's because here's what happened. So we've been doing better about consistently starting earlier in the day. When we record these podcasts, we used to sometimes start late. Like today, we started a little bit later. But so I would bring over pre-workout. Now I'm what is the word?
Stupid.
Used to the pre-workout. Like my body has adjusted
Oh, okay. That's where you're going.
and can take the pre-workout. So I would divvy up the amounts. I would give Jordan and Spicy like a third of the pre-workout, just enough to wake them up. That's it. Well, Jordan one time was in charge.
Well, because I can't drink energy drinks anyways. They mess me up.
Yeah, and so when I was doing it, it was fine. Just a nice little pick me up. Spicy was feeling happy. He was good. But one time Jordan mixed the drinks, and Jordan gave Spicy my dosage, which my dosage is like 2 full scoops. And Spicy was up till like 3 in the morning.
I was up till 3 in the freaking morning, like staring at the ceiling, like Java, 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 Java. And sometimes I'm dumb on me and my wife's bed. When I can't sleep, I'll sleep on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the Count of Monte Cristo goes, kind of right. Yeah, I'll sleep on the floor, and I'm laying there, and I think I was breathing like really hard or something, and my wife was concerned, and so she was laying on the bed and she's reaching down to calm me and touch me or whatever, and all I saw staring at the ceiling was the Demogorgon reaching his hand towards my soul, and it was the scariest thing I have ever seen. And
Jordan,
even right now I'm like breaking out into hives.
Jordan like overdosed you. That was hilarious. That was hilarious. It almost killed
LZ
you.
Man in chat says you remember listening to that episode wondering what was wrong with Spicy. Well, because I was all over. Yeah.
That is funny.
Oh,
hey, great question.
man.
Thank you very much, Noob Dream. Thank you for writing in. Our last question was from the one and only Barm. What do you guys think of Randy Pitchford's Twitter tantrum regarding Steam user reviews? Also, are any of you planning on jumping into World of Warships Legends next week? Keep up the great work and never stop infusing your shows with stupid nonsense. It's the best. Thank you very much.
Oh, this show
Barm.
had like 40 minutes of stupid
Plenty
nonsense.
of it. So let's start with Naval Warships Legends that comes out next week. Heck,
World of
yes.
Warships.
World of Warships. Jumping into that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What is it? $30? $20?
I don't know. It's where I
does
think we
cost.
should get the $100 version.
I'm there. Let's do
Jordan
it.
loves wasting money for
They-
a good purpose.
Yeah. So we're all getting that because Spicy never actually was able to join us.
Oh yeah,
the
you'll
first
actually
time
be able to
around.
play with us this time.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Because we played it on the PC, and that game is so much fun. That game is superior to World of Tanks. Hands down, no questions asked.
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm swallowing a cough drop here.
Shouldn't you suck on a cough drop?
I'd chew them eventually.
You know what? I get that.
Yeah.
It's so hard. Jolly Ranchers, like hard candies, I cannot not bite it.
Oh yeah, it doesn't last long. For me.
Yeah.
It's probably terrible for our teeth. But
Yeah, whatever.
sometimes what I like to do with Jolly Ranchers is I like to get it super thin, like willpower it super thin, and then slowly bite it down so it makes a horseshoe.
Oh, I can see that. So you're
And then you can
molding
then you
it
can
in
wrap it
your
around
mouth.
your teeth or do whatever you want with it.
Yeah, that's probably definitely bad for your teeth.
Why? I'm not biting it.
I don't know. I'm sure the sugar there in that thing.
The sugar. I mean, it's bad anyways.
This is true.
That's dumb. You go. Okay, whatever.
So Randy Pitchford, for those of you that don't know or they're listening, that don't know, he went on a Twitter rant this week. He really didn't go on a Twitter rant, but he posed some questions and answers via Twitter. So Gears of War 3, which is not Gears of War 3. Borderlands 3. Thank you very much. Borderlands 3 is coming exclusive on the PC to the Epic Game Store.
For like
they're
6
not-
months, right, or something like that, or
They're not on Steam at all. It's going to the Epic Games Store.
Oh, so it wasn't timed? I thought it was timed.
To my knowledge, it's not, but you might be right. But I don't know. Regardless, it's launching on the Epic Games Store. It's Borderlands 3. So what happened is a lot of users review bombed the OG Borderlands over on Steam. And what a review bomb is when a bunch of people just go and just give it a crappy review and type a lot of crappy stuff because they don't like that it's going exclusive to Epic. Steam put in some things to fix it because of this. So basically, the review doesn't show up. It shows up as another. It doesn't show up in the total score for the Borderlands games. But when asked about it, Randy Pitchford on Twitter just unloaded on Steam and said, basically, well, I'm really glad that it looks like we made the right decision to go to Epic. Basically, to summarize, it's basically
now,
what he said.
That being said, he actually said this before Steam fixed the review.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that part.
So, yeah, because they were like, well, if he would have waited, Steam would have fixed it. Now, what I want to know is why did Steam fix it? Now, Steam does have stuff in place. I'm not saying that they don't, but was it because of that tweet that they got on
Well,
it
and
quicker?
then he
You know what I mean?
also
Like,
said that if he was in charge of a store, he would not allow any reviews. He would have curated content, that he prefers curated content to user reviewed content anyways in a store. So a lot of people didn't like that necessarily. But my take on it, Randy Pitchford, he's the CEO of Gearbox who makes Borderlands. I think he's right. I think yeah, this is why I'm going to Epic. Guys, you just solidified my decision. We made the correct decision to go to Epic. I think Epic... So Epic reminds me, if you guys don't know the story of Nintendo and Sega, Nintendo was the powerhouse. Nintendo was the only game in town, and Nintendo treated its developers not crappy, but they made some enemies with developers. So then Sega came along in the second generation, Super Nintendo launched, Sega Genesis launched. Sega came along and said, hey, developers, come to us. And everybody went to Sega because of how they had been treated with Nintendo. This Steam Epic battle that's going on reminds me of that. Because what is it, a 70-30 split?
70-30 for Steam. I think it's 88% for
Epic.
And
Yeah, which is huge.
if you use Unreal, you actually get a little bit more as well, which they do use
And
Unreal.
Epic has been landing
Well,
huge exclusives.
This whole Twitter stuff derives from the announcement, hey, we're going with Epic, which everybody freaked out about, which, by the way... Okay, is our website secure? Because
our website is
yeah,
secure.
okay. Are we
We're
good?
secure.
You're secure now. You can actually voice your opinion.
You can piss people off.
So, and I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings or anything. Like, I mean, the game's coming. I think it's going to be fun, right? But the thing is Epic Games is free. You just download it.
It's not exclusive as PlayStation.
Yeah,
and
it's not
Xbox
like,
are
oh,
exclusive.
I got to go spend $500. Oh, shoot, I got to spend 10 minutes and download it. Yeah, it's not all in one place. So I get that. You got to open another window, right? I get that argument, I guess. But the thing is what's funny is...
It's a slight inconvenience to have another loader, but if you have Blizzard... If you have
EA
Origins,
it's not even that much of it. Yeah, it's not even that much of an inconvenience.
They'll have their own launchers.
What bothers me is all these people, like, there's always this huge, support the developer, the publishers, blah, 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 support, I don't know. There's all this support the developer. The developer is making, and anyway, what frustrates me is the developer is making more money if they go with Epic, which means they can take that money, turn around, and make more content, right?
Yeah.
So it seems... I don't know. It's your typical political. You only agree when it's convenient for you type of thing. But no, I don't think it's a big deal, and I don't think that this should have blown up to this proportion.
I think Randy Pitchford is correct. I think Epic is being aggressive and good on them. I think it's going to force Steam to become a better product.
I think some of his comments may have been uncalled. I mean, they're kind of funny, but I think some of his comments maybe he needs to should I send this out? But I don't think there's anything wrong with going against the grain every once in a while.
Yeah,
and shake things up.
Spicy, what are your thoughts on this whole scenarios?
Is our website secure?
It's secure, baby.
Yeah.
It's secure.
I honestly think real gamers don't care.
No, it's
they
just
just
a
want
lot
to
of
play
people.
the game.
Yeah.
The people that complain are just about this. It takes 30 seconds to download.
You probably already have it.
You
on your
already have
computer.
it because you had other games that were on
Like
there.
Fortnite.
That started. Well, yeah, Fortnite. Yeah, if you have kids, you have Fortnite on your PC already, right? It's just a launcher, and once it's installed, all you got to do is hit the Windows button and type the name of the game, and it'll launch.
Not only that, but you also get a free game every month there as well if you're on Epic.
You know, the bells and whistles, whatever. Gamers just like to play games.
Yeah.
I really, if you're worried or care about this, that surprises me. If you just enjoy playing games, that surprises me.
Yeah.
Because seriously, I mean, I was watching Lyric
Sure.
stream, and this was brought up while he was streaming, and he usually has opinions that I completely disagree with.
Oh.
He's it depends on what he's saying, but he has strong opinions on things. He just said, who cares? And
Yeah.
it's just as simple as that. Who cares?
Yeah.
I'll just download it wherever I want. Especially knowing that this is a competitor to a monster that is bending a lot of developers over in some cases, right? So
Well, and look at this, NC State guy. The free game every month through Epic is on point. Subnautica and The Witness so far. So,
Well,
I mean,
what really bothered me about this argument is like, oh, they're just being greedy. It's like, well, okay, you're all for supporting the developer, and now it's greed. They made a move that will increase their like they'll get more money to make more games, right? I
think a lot of the people complaining are hired by Steam.
I feel bad saying this.
Oh, you
There
think
is
so?
Conspiracy stuff.
Valve.
yeah.
Yeah, 20
Well, okay.
people with a hashtag, man. 20
Yeah,
people
no,
with
it's
a
true.
hashtag
That is
with
true.
I feel
20 fake accounts can really make a big, splash.
I feel like a jerk saying this, but like I think there's a lot of greed out there, right? I get that, but if a developer makes more money, they can do more things.
yeah.
So I'm sorry, but if you have money, you can produce better products.
Yeah. Amen, brother. Preach it. Preach it,
And
Jordan.
if Epic is saying, "Hey, as a developer, we want to give you a bigger cut of your game that you made," come to our
Absolutely,
yeah.
yeah.
They're that's like okay. And if you say no to this, then you may have your own problems. But that's like Mark coming up to me and like, "Hey, Jordan, here's $10."
And
And then I just slap it out of his hands and run away. You
You
know what I mean?
greedy mofo.
Yeah. I was like, oh, thanks.
no,
Yeah.
that would be that would be David slapping it out of your
Yeah.
hands and then yelling at me.
Yeah.
Look, if the developer is successful, and successful means if they make money, right? I mean, if they make money, they can make better games. They can make better DLC. They'll come out with a proper expansion, maybe. I don't know. They'll make Borderlands 4 will be fantastic.
The complaints on this surprise me. To
Maybe
be
the
honest.
next what was that game that they did that I liked that no one else really liked? Went up against Overwatch, Battleborn. Maybe if they make more money, Battleborn 2.
I like Battleborn.
Yeah, but not very many people did. Hence why
Oh.
it's not around anymore.
I think people were just. I think that it got Titanfalled.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think
it came out
Battleborn-
at
But-
the wrong time.
Yeah.
Hey, we make more money through Epic. Maybe Battleborn 2 will be better. You know what I mean? Like, it's not bad that a developer wants to be successful.
So, very good. Hey, great question. Thank you very
Yeah.
much, Barb.
Now our
Appreciate
website's
that.
going to get hacked.
No, not it can't.
No, I really,
impenetrable.
I just, who cares if you can get it on your computer and play it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So one thing I think that's really
Like what?
interesting is
I don't understand. I don't get it. That's just
So-
all right.
yeah. One more thing before we go. That was,
Although he did have one tweet that I thought was hilarious.
What was
they
that?
said, "Will you ever bring it to Steam?" And he basically said, "I will when they release Half-Life 4," or something like that. You know what I mean? That was. I think that's the one that got him in trouble. But that one was funny.
That is funny. One thing that I want to talk about is there was Microsoft talk. There was a Microsoft executive this week that talked about Google Stadia and basically said that
yeah.
Google Stadia is coming out.
Stealing their idea.
No, that Google Stadia has the infrastructure, but what they don't have is content. Microsoft has infrastructure and content, right? And then, but on that comment,
Were they bagging on him?
no, and on that comment, he made an additional comment. It was Mark Nichols, I believe, from Microsoft that made this comment.
Yeah.
He made the comment that regardless, the best place to play games, regardless of all this technology, and you are going to be able to play your games anywhere, and devices are eventually going to go away, but local processing power is going to always be the best way to play a game. And I think that tells us a lot about Microsoft's strategy going forward. We talked about it before. How are they going to sell consoles if they're opening up Xbox to everywhere, play on any device, Game Pass on any device, etc.? I think that's their selling point, and I think that's giving it away right there. I think they're moving to, and we'll find out at E3 in a couple months, but I think they're moving to, look, here's our streaming box device. You can play this anywhere that you want. You can play it on your PC if you want, your laptop, blah, blah, blah. But if you want the best experience, this most powerful gaming console in the world right here, this will be the best way to experience the game.
Yes.
Agree?
Yeah.
Disagree?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Well, especially for competitive gamers. I mean, the local processing power is always going to be better than
cloud processing.
Yeah, well then
You don't have to worry about anything else. It's
the
there.
ping that goes back and forth, right? The millisecond delay. You're always going to have it faster locally.
Well, not only that,
It's
but
just science.
But when you're local, you can still utilize the xCloud in offloading additional processes. So you're essentially what's in front of you is enhanced even more, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be the strategy going forward. I'm really excited for this E3. I think this E3 is going to be big for
because
Microsoft and for Xbox, and I think they're super focused.
Yeah. Well, I think resolution would be a big one. You'd have to do that locally because even Netflix, who probably has the best codec for it or whatever,
Sure.
A 4K movie generally takes between 15 to 20 megabits, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's if you're pressed for bandwidth, you know what I mean. That's and a 4K game probably takes more because the images are much faster. You know what I mean, like and random. It's not like a movie where it's set. This is what's going to happen.
Well, what's
Here's
interesting,
the 4K. You know what I mean?
Well, what's interesting is we're talking about streaming coming up next, right? Streaming games, and we know from streaming, just us streaming on Mixer or on Twitch or whatever, 4K streaming is basically not a thing because the technology is just not there yet, right? It's just so much harder. The cost to stream 4K is insane.
Yeah.
Oh, like when we're saying
When
streaming,
we're streaming,
we're talking about YouTube or Twitch or Mixer.
Yeah, it's basically non-existent yet because it's so expensive. The barrier to entry.
Well, it does exist. It's just most people watching don't have
4K monitors, displays,
monitors or devices that can handle the bandwidth / processing power that's required for 4K. 4K is like it's funny. It's only, it's 4 times as big as 1080, right? But that jumps a lot with processing power. So for the masses, 1080p is
where
you're at.
Where it's at right now.
Happy medium. So there you go.
For viewing, right?
Yeah.
So
there you go. Anyways, good discussion. That does us. That's us. It's over. We're done. Finite. Hey, thank you very much, everybody. What are you guys going to be playing this week? Gonna continue with Borderlands, Jordan or McSpicy? You going to jump back into Sekiro?
I hope so. I'd like to get back into that. I just got scary. The Demogorgon.
Yeah.
I'm
Did
a
it get-
wuss.
it
I don't
gets
watch. I don't watch scary movies.
Dude, I'm not a scary movie guy either.
Gets good.
I know.
Good.
I just those guys that came out of the walls with their spears. Just didn't like them.
They
Do
were
you
the
want-
They
immortals.
come out in like smoke.
Do you want my strategy? Do you want me to
Jordan
give
can
you a
come.
strategy to get through
Jordan
there?
can come coach you.
But I don't want to be coached. I don't want to do it. I
Okay.
don't want to be scared.
Oh.
I'm gonna turn the lights on full blast. Have like
No sound.
no, I'm gonna be blasting like Mary Poppins or something.
Happy-
To
some happy
some
music.
happy music.
Very
And then I'll
nice.
probably try it. No, I have a lot of work to do this weekend, so I don't know if I'm gonna get a lot of gaming in.
I would like to get back into Motorsport 7. I've been thinking about that
yeah.
game a lot. I haven't had a chance to. I didn't even get a chance to stream this week because let me tell you, I've been sicker than a dog. Sicker than a dog. Super sick. So I'm looking forward to getting
dog.
healthy again.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, that does us. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us.
You're not gonna ask what Jordan's gonna play?
Jordan, what are you playing?
The same thing.
Sekiro.
Oh, and Elder Scrolls Online.
Oh, you've been back into that big time, huh?
Yeah, I enjoy
Very
it.
nice.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. We appreciate you. If you haven't yet, don't forget to head over to iTunes, rate and review us there, subscribe to us. It really helps with the rankings on iTunes. The community is growing. We appreciate it. We appreciate you guys. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves. We'll see you here, same time, same place. It's the Bat Cave.
It is. I'm wearing my Batman shirt.
Boom!
I am. I'm literally wearing a Batman shirt.
See you guys.
See you later, everyone.